If 26 years ago you had told me that one day I'd be sitting in front of four very rare, beautiful, low mileage and pristine kept 850 CSIs from the US market, when all I wanted to do in my teens was just to be close to one, just to see one drive by, or have this magazine come to life, I'd be going like, really? How? Why? When? You never know what life will bring. I should have known that this was coming, knowing the obsession and the amount of passion I have for these cars, which never really died away. Still to this day, every time I see one, my heart skips a beat. It's just something I can't help. That's just how it is. This beautiful design, these muscular, masculine cars with the flare rear ends and the big wheels and the big front. There's something about it, the luxurious, the out of its time and ahead of its time technology for the 90s. It's just a combination of everything that has still kept me in love with these cars, and it will never go away. I just know it. I've been asked to represent other type of cars. I just don't feel it. Yes, I love the Porsche 911s. I love different type of cars, but nothing comes close to this. It's just something else, and I can't help it, and I will not help it, and I will enjoy doing it for as many years as I can. So going back to my childhood dream of even wanting to be close to one, now I'm sitting here representing three, well actually four, because the blue one was represented by me as well, of the most beautiful CSIs that this country has seen during these years. It's just an absolute boyhood dream come true. I get to see them, drive them, inspect them, fix anything that may be needed to fix, speak with my partners about them, go back and forth. It's just a fun process. And when it goes from the previous custodians to us, the middle people who bring us to the next custodian, it's just an all-around fun process and a dream come true for me as an 8 Series lover. I've been trying to push these cars for the past 3 years because they deserve to be pushed. Promote them globally, promote them with the new young buyers that are coming into the market who deserve to be owning one and driving one. Daniel Rapley, my business partner when it comes to representing these cars, is the owner of these cars with Rapley Classic Cars, LLC in Connecticut. And that's where I am right now, sitting here in front of these beautiful cars. I will be talking about each car individually and specifically the history, the service records, the provenance, where they were, where they are now, how many owners, mileage, and whatnot. Imagine your husband passes away and this beautiful car is still in your garage. You want to sell your house, and a gentleman who's made all his money in the porn business comes in, sees the car, and makes you an offer and buys it off of you. That's kind of what the story of the original owner of this car was. It was a lady whose husband owned this beautiful CSI number 16 with currently 24,000 miles on it in the 90s. After he passed away, she kept the car, and one day she had the car for sale. People who came through to look at the house for sale, one of the people who saw it, who was the second owner of this car for many, many years, a gentleman who made all his money in the porn business out of all things, makes an offer, they make a deal, and he buys it. And then he keeps it until he passes away and his son inherits his car. This car right now has 23,800 miles on it. By the time it goes to the next custodian, it should have hit 24,000, because we do drive our cars, make sure everything is in good order. So him and his son had the car. They didn't drive it as much. It was sitting for the better part of the last 15 years. Don't let that throw you off, because they maintained the car. They didn't let it just sit. They actually did the services that it needed, did everything that it needed. So it's well sorted, especially since after we took it over, we have gone through A to Z, bumper to bumper, make sure everything is in good order, flush everything out, change the hoses, change the seals, and now it's ready to go to the next custodian. CSI number 16. It was built on October 5th, 1993 in Germany and shipped to the USA. It has 23,800 miles on it and 3 previous owners. I'm just going to show you the engine bay for a second. It still has the original Cosmoline on it. Whether you choose to remove it or not, we can do it for you or you can do it yourself. Oxford green on silver gray is a very, very, very rare combination. We believe it to be the only one in the country. So I'm looking forward to sending this to your new home, custodian home. Okay. Sport mode. 23,800 original miles. Let's do this. The interior smells fresh. Steering wheel. See the blue, red, and the blue and the red M stitching is still in good condition. Okay, I'm going to push the car. Alright. Immediately we are up to 60, 70, 80, 90. Very, very nice. This is an all factory car. No modifications. Right now I'm in sport mode and then comfort mode. Immediately I feel the difference. The amazing thing about the sport and comfort mode is that second you go from comfort to sport, just you feel it. It takes like Gary Corcoran says, 1,000 pounds off the car. Wow. Very, very, very nice. Once again, another clean car. We have sorted everything out on it that needs to be sorted. It was sitting in a collection for years. It's a no-story car. Never been hit, never been in any accidents, never been molested, never been nothing. And I am living my childhood dreams of driving the E31 in all shapes and forms. '60, '70 within seconds. You know, after all these years, despite having owned a dozen of these cars and been around hundreds of them, even to this day, when one shows up and drives in front of me, behind me, anywhere I see one approaching me, I still get a, oh, look at that design. Look at that design. It's a timeless design. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, don't get me wrong though. High mileage, low mileage, pristine, well kept, not well kept, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about the people. It's about the relationships. It's about the custodians of these cars. It's about the friendships these cars create between their owners, their custodians. They always say you buy a car, but you gain a whole new family, which is what it is with us E31 owners. We are a large group of extended family around the world. Even though many of us have never met in person, but because we share the love and passion for these cars, we develop these long-distance friendships and relationships between us owners where we can relate to each other and become, part of a much bigger family. And that's what it's all about. It's about the people. Locally, where I come from, Southern California, We're lucky enough to have hundreds of owners who are part of our SoCal 8s and the BMW CCA E31 chapter groups. So we get together a lot, and luckily we have good weather most of the time. Because of that, we have a lot more closer and personal relationships because we see each other. I'm a board member in one of those groups. That hasn't stopped us from becoming friends or sort of extended family members with the rest of the owners around the world. I have friends in Florida, I have friends in Malaysia, I have friends in Germany, Norway, here in Connecticut. So it's just an amazing feeling to know that we're all like-minded people, men, women, have love for these cars, and we support each other. Sometimes I've seen people send parts to each other for free or give each other free pointers, and it's not about the money. We have wrench fests where we get together and 10 guys jump on a car, fix all the problems, and get the car out the door, because we want them on the road. We want them to be able to drive. We want them to be able to last on for another 20, 30 years. Which takes me to my next point. We welcome new members in our extended E31 family. Whether it's a CSI that you can afford, an Alpina, or a regular 840 or 850, or a car you find that needs TLC that you bring to life working on it, we want you in our family. When it comes to the E31s that I represent, normally if it's presented to me by whether it's Daniel or Neil or Gary, Vince, anybody who I work with, I make sure that I handpick them. I make sure that they go, or I go, we see them, we touch the car, we test it, we test drive it, we go through it, everything. We don't normally, it has happened very rarely, but we don't normally buy cars sight unseen, because we want to make sure that they have a good solid foundation to begin with. And 9 out of 10 they do. A lot of times it's a tip that comes into us from somebody we know. We fly out there, we see it, and trust me, there's no expense spared on bringing these cars up to the top shape that you see them being in. I'm in a lucky position now, after 3 years, having represented about 30 or so of these cars, and plus the extended family that I have in the E31 world, that has put me in a position where enough trust has been built around the world, where people come to me now asking for a well-kept, well-sorted E31. And that's exactly what I have here with these 4 cars, or 3 that are available coming soon. So there's that trust that you can have with me and my team, and we will not let you down. I'm always one phone call away. When or whatever you buy a car from us, the phone will always be at hand. You can call me if there's anything. If there's something that we missed, I will take care of it. If there's something that wasn't correct, which is very rare, I will take care of it. It's all about that additional friendship and relationship and that trust that you have with me and my team, that once the car leaves our possession, it's in your possession. Don't think that my phone will block you. You'll still be around. You'll be my friend. We become friends. And anything you need, we're here to make sure that you're happy with it. And if it's something that had nothing to do with me, obviously, let's say a year down the road, something happens, you can still always call me and ask, hey, how do I fix this? Or how does this happen? I mean, these are classic cars, so they don't have factory warranty anymore. So there's that trust, and I'm happy and honored to be able to be in a position where I can offer that. Had you told anyone about 3 years ago that one day BMW Classics would just pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, we're coming out with the new 8 Series and we need a film for the E31 Classic car. Could you help us with that? I would just laugh at you and say, no, hell no, BMW is never going to promote this car. And they did, yet they did. They spent a good amount of money on promoting this car together with the new one coming. Obviously, they had a financial interest in the new one, but us E31 owners were able to grab that support from BMW and run with it, which is what we did. After the Petrolicious Black CSI film that I made, which became a very popular film, the values of these cars started slowly rising, and they went from original price to double, triple, and sometimes even more depending on condition and mileage. So I wouldn't fear the future. I wouldn't fear that, oh, I'm spending this amount of money and whatnot now. Your investment is safe, and actually you can drive and enjoy your investment and see it go up in value. You don't have to sit at a monitor and look at the numbers of values of a stock go up. There's your stock right there. I'm going to be welcoming you into our new E31 family.